Welcome back to the Dividend Diplomats YouTube channel. Got your boys here, Lanny and Bert, the Diplomats. Today we're going to talk to you about SCHD's big Q2 dividend announcement and how that fund paid us nearly $700 in June.
Ooh, guys, if that piques your interest, smash that subscribe button. Give us a nice thumbs up to the Dividend Broskies here, investing into dividend stocks, dividend ETFs, increasing passive income, trying to get to that financial freedom as we're pushing on 2 decades of doing this bit, guys. But we'll get there slowly but surely. So
That's right.
Bert, Q2 dividends. What's going on? What's happening here? What was
Yeah.
announced just
So,
this week?
all right. So it was their big Q2 dividend. We talked about this in our video last week where we covered some SCHD red flags we were seeing. The conclusion was all hope is not lost for SCHD, but this is going to be a very critical dividend announcement for the fund. We really need to see SCHD deliver some semblance of results in that quarter two dividend. And you know what? Let's pull up the numbers, Lanny. Let's put them up there. Let's see what they are going with.
What happened with SCHD in that second quarter dividend, brother?
All right. Well, last year it was 27.47 cents, so 0.27 per share. This year, 26.02 cents per share, so 0.2602. That was a decrease over a penny and a half down. 5.28%. On paper, it was a big decrease. Big decrease for SCHD.
No bueno, but they did announce a day earlier, I think, from a calendar standpoint last year. So just maybe, the timing has a little bit to do with a slightly lower dividend.
That's right. So let's peel this one back, Lanny, because also Q1 paid a later dividend last year. So Q1, I mean in 2025, paid it
Oh,
6 days
yeah.
after, and this was one day early. Now that we're pulling up the history, so let's take a look at the collective dividend for SCHD. In Q1, that dividend was up 22% compared to last year, Lanny. So in total, 2025, the dividend for a half year is 50.90 cents compared to 2024 of 47.84 cents. Lanny, that is a 6.4% dividend increase so far in 2020.
Yeah. Yeah. When you guys actually think about that and break it down, 6.4% increase through the first 2 quarters. That's still solid, guys.
Yeah.
Again, as Bert indicated, a handful of days later in Q1, making Q1's dividend huge, and then squeezing up a little dividend earlier than normal could also have impacted the Q2 dividend here. So you kind of had, not to say both things working against SCHD for this quarter, but you had both things working against SCHD for this quarter.
That's right. And when we left that video last week, we said we wanted to see that the dividend growth and that this reconstitution is working and that the dividends are coming through. And
And
to your point, a 6.4% year over year increase is pretty solid for SCHD when you pair that with that 3.8, 3.9% dividend yield, depending on the day.
yeah, and obviously, everything is not going to work every single time. We all know the industries that SCHD is in is lagging the entire stock market right now. We get it. And hey,
Yeah.
again, I think, SCHD Stan, yeah, we follow you out there. And I think I've even made it on this video a few times where it's like, well, is SCHD undervalued then? Are these industries undervalued, making the ETF undervalued? And then maybe the next 5 years, or maybe after this year or 2 years, maybe the 5 year run, maybe they'll have a great 5 year run like they did at one point.
Yeah. And that's really the theory here. If it is this undervalued fund, you pick up that 3.8% yield, you get that strong
You run with it.
sustained
You take it to the bank.
Yeah, that's right. With that 6.4% growth rate, that does give you a 10% dividend growth factor when you pair the two of them together. And that's what we talk about. We love with an individual stock.
Well over
We love
10%.
it for an ETF too. Yeah, so that's huge for SEHD.
Yeah, well over a 10% dividend compound factor growth investors from a dividend standpoint that want passive income stream to grow now or in the future. And hey, this may not be the ETF for you. If you want growth, if you're like, hey, I don't want to touch it for 60 years, SCHD is probably not for you. But if you're looking to retire earlier, you want the income now plus growth on the income, this could be a great ETF. I mean, that's hence why I kind of started buying SCHD, because I'm like, hey, let's get the financial freedom just a little bit faster, with a sound ETF that has a good track record over the last 10 years. SCHD. Now, Bert, how many shares of SCHD do you own?
All right, so I own SCHD in two separate accounts here, Lanny. So I've been talking about in my wife's account how we're now buying $750 of SCHD every week. It's been increasing.
So big, just a couple bucks.
Yeah, it's been steadily increasing every month or two. It feels like it started at around 250, 350, 500, and then we just jumped it up here to $750.
$10 million.
Yeah, and we sold our Spartan Nash position earlier in the week after the acquisition. We moved $2,000 in, not coincidentally, Lanny, a day before the dividend, and it was almost as if we saw this dividend coming. And someone was looking down on us saying, like, here, let's get you a little bit more dividends.
Let's get you the head nod.
Yeah, let's give you the head nod. So we built up in her position $1,803. Shares of SCHD in her account that paid $469.18. I have in a retirement account from when I bought both SCHD and VYM at the exact same time a few years ago. I have another $395 shares. So that paid me $102.98. So combined, I received $572.12 from SCHD here.
Combined, I own all of the SCHD shares.
Yeah.
And guys, you guys know that, so I own some and my wife owns some. My wife owns them purely by selling positions and going into SCHD. She was also part of the Spartan Nash sell. So we did sell out of that. We sold out of, a slew of companies, The Gap, Master Brands. There's a handful of stocks we have sold out of. And then for me, I have sold out of positions such as Hormel, Diageo, move that into SCHD. Plus, I've been buying $55 a day of SCHD. So, we're at 486 shares of SCHD already. So that'll produce a little bit over $126 in dividends come June 30th for us.
Yeah, so that's a huge dividend combined right there. In total, we received $698.61.
Huge, guys. So look at that. Diplomats bringing in over $698, almost $700 in passive freaking income, guys. An income stream that's going to drip back in at pretty much 4% and should be growing at over 6% right now.
Yeah, so everyone, let us know, what do you think about this SCHD dividend? Were you happy with what you saw? Or were you disappointed for Q2 but happy once you saw how it has played out so far over year to date? Do you still believe in SCHD?
Do you believe in SCHD? Joe Hendry, if you know, guys. Remember,
I got you.
Let us know what ETF you are loving this quarter once that dividend was announced for the second quarter, guys. Holler at us in the comments, like the video, subscribe to this gosh dang channel, and Bert, tell them the last bit of music.
You're either with us or you're against us, Jack.
That was Bert and Laney from the Dividend Diplomats, over and out.